Hey guys, let's do a little bit of a chatty get ready with me situation, and I'm going to show you also a couple of new things. I have this palette that just came in yesterday. This is the JUVIA'S Magic palette, as well as one of the OFRA mini highlighters. I spoke about the OFRA highlighters and how curious I was about them in my wishlist video. I did forget to include Juvia's Place, but Juvia's Place was totally on my wishlist. So I haven't really done anything to my face yet, so we're going to do everything together. You can also enjoy the disaster that's going on my face right now, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about what that's about. So, why does my face look like shit? My allergies have been extremely bad the past 2 weeks, and somehow it seems like pregnancy is making it worse, because something that I've never really had before, or at least not that I can remember, is these awful red itchy spots on my face, which very much resemble eczema. And I've had eczema on my hands, so I know how that feels like, and they feel a little bit like that. And I read that hay fever can also trigger, especially in like pregnant women and their shitty, crazy hormones, that can trigger these sort of reactions, but no amount of creams, face oils and skincare that I put on my face is making things better. I have smeared like tiny bits of my corticosteroid cream here and there, just because that seems to be the only thing that kind of like calms them down. But I also can't, you know, keep smearing corticosteroid creams, because I don't think it's recommended with the baby and stuff. The worst. Not to mention, you know, all the sneezing and bloodshot eyes and pfft. So I'm enjoying my life. I'm just complaining a little bit because this morning I woke up with like the worst itches on my face. And obviously my allergies are really bad because the weather outside is absolutely beautiful. Would I sacrifice the beautiful weather outside for my allergies? I don't think so. I'm enjoying the pretty weather so much that I'm willing to suffer through it. Also this morning I was out of my antihistamines, so I couldn't take my antihistamines, which I think is making things even worse. So I should just really go get my antihistamines, and that will probably help a little bit. So yeah, that is what's going on with my face. I don't know if any of you have ever experienced this. I know a lot of you have had babies or are currently pregnant, so have you ever experienced such kind of joys? Or am I the lucky one? I need to get myself like a little brow mascara thing, because I've been using like my actual mascaras that I don't really like to use so much on my eyelashes as like brow things. And I've been really enjoying the effect, only I feel like I really need a dedicated, I really need like a dedicated brow mascara, because these are just a little too intense. See how black they are? And I can do black because my eyebrows are already quite dark as it is. But I feel like a dark brown would be much better suited. So I'm going to head to the city in a bit, and I think I'm going to pass by the drugstore and get myself one of those Essence brow mascaras, because I've heard really good things about them. So, you know, making my makeup routine more complicated. Who doesn't like that? I know I've promised you the Kat Von D anniversary palette video, the collab with Amber, and that is coming. I'm not sure whether this video will be up first or the collab, because it really depends on how long it takes us to coordinate, because, you know, it's 3 looks. The 2 of us need to coordinate with like making the videos, editing them, posting them, and that kind of thing. So it's not the easiest, and for me at this point it's fairly easy, because I don't really have to do much. I just have to record my video and edit and upload, and my video is already done. But Amber has 4 kids, and her 4 kids are currently like in the finishing their school year phase, so I think she's incredibly busy. So I don't really mind waiting for her, but I hope you don't mind either waiting a little bit for that video to appear online. I promise it's going to be next week. Let's cover up a little bit of those red spots. Nothing can really cover them up completely, but that's also not what I'm trying to achieve. Because to be honest with you, I know that I can't cover them. The more I try to cover them, the worse it gets. So I'm just trying to make them a little more tolerable, let's say. Putting on makeup actually helps because then I don't scratch my face as much. If I don't if I don't put makeup on, it's definitely worse. Because then I feel the urge to scratch my face all the time. Ugh, the worst. Let's move into the eyeshadow palette. So the eyeshadow palette arrived yesterday. I don't even know if it's fitting on my screen, it's so big. It comes in like a little box, and the actual palette looks exactly the same, which is awesome because excuse me, because I absolutely love this like beautiful peachy pink and the little orange here on the side. So the reason I chose the Magic palette is, well, one of the reasons I never really ordered the Juvia's Place palette so far is because I felt like, while they're very colorful and they're totally something up my alley, I could never really pick a color combination that I really like. I did pick this one in the end because the first two rows have a bit more of those warmish tone shadows, and the bottom rows have cool tone shadows, so I figured I could probably make this work. So for today's look, I know what you're thinking, that I'm going to do something with the blues and the greens. I'm not, because you're going to see something with blues and greens in the Kat Von D collab. So I'm going to do something that I don't think I even actually do ever on my channel, which is I'm going to do something with like the pinks and the reds. Like something like that. And we're just going to try the eyeshadows together because I have absolutely no experience with these shadows. I have no idea what to expect. Let's just dig into it. Alright, I'm going to take a little fluffy brush like this one, and the first shade I'm going to go into is this one here, which, oh, they all have very weird names, I don't know how to pronounce them. Oh no, this one is easy. So I'm going to go into Nana, which is like a, excuse me, let me clean up around here because it's such a mess. So Nana is kind of like a warm toned, like brick terracotta brownie color, and I'm kind of hoping that it will work nicely as my transition shade. Oh, it even actually looks like it's going to apply orange. That's interesting. I like this. Orange is much better than just a boring brown. Wow, that's nice. Okay. Okay, so far this is applying very pigmented, very nice, and it is blending out, so I'm liking it. Do any of you guys have Juvia's Place palettes? Which ones do you have? Which ones would you recommend? What do you like? What do you not like? Let me know, I'm curious about everything. When it comes to makeup, my biggest problem is curiosity. I just want to try all the different brands and all the different formulas, even though I have like a bajillion of these colors. It's just the stupid curiosity that killed the cat and will be my undoing as well. Okay, so far I have no issues with this matte. It's just blending out super nice. Okay, let's leave it at this for now. I'm going to apply my brow bone highlight, and there seems to be a shade in here which I can use for that, and that is this shade here, which is called Cassie. Let's hope that she's light enough for me to use as a brow bone highlight. It seems like it. It is a little bit darker than what I would normally put on as a brow bone highlight, but it works. Yeah, it totally works. No problem. So I ordered my palette from Beauty Bay, for those of you who are located in Europe and were wondering how I got my hands on a Juvia's palette, because I did a long time ago, like actually go on the Juvia's Place website and check whether I can like order from there. Sorry guys, it's really warm. But the shipping was ridiculously expensive, and I thought, nope, not going to put that much money into shipping. I think like super high shipping prices is what very often turns me off in trying things. Then I'm going to take a slightly smaller brush and I'm going to dip into this coral red here, which is called Koji. Not sure I'm pronouncing that right, I don't know. What do you think? Koji? Looks like a koji to me. And I'm going to take this beautiful red on my Looks Defined crease brush from Zoeva and I'm going to work that into the crease right here. These shadows are nice because while they are pigmented, they don't really pack too much. Well, they pack color, but you are able to blend it out quite easily, I feel like. So far this is looking really, really nice. I did swatch the metallics or some of the metallics yesterday just on my hand because I was way too curious to not dip my greedy fingers into it. And they looked really beautiful. They swatched absolutely beautifully. That green shade, by the way, totally looks like a dupe for the green in the Kat Von D 10-year anniversary palette. So if that was the shade that you were eyeballing in the Kat Von D palette, then I think you can easily substitute it with the green in this palette. I'm grabbing the fluffier brush with that orangey shade and just smoking that out. Just a bit more. Wow, I really like this. I don't know whether red was like the best choice for me right now with all the redness that's going on my face, but we're going for it. Okay, then I'm going to take a smaller pencil type of brush and I am going to dip into, I'm thinking this super dark purple over here, which is called Ivy. This one here. No fucking clue how to pronounce that. I'm going to take like the tiniest bit of that just because I want to see whether I can intensify the crease a little bit with it without overdoing it, because I don't want to make it way too dark. Plus I want to try one of the purples. Okay, so far so good. I take like the tiniest amount on my brush, by the way. That's pretty. Let's put a bit more. I'm trying not to overdo that purple. Failing at it. Seems very likely I'm going to try another JUVIA'S palette at some point. I'm thinking about the palette that has a slightly smaller size and has like a bunch of really, really colorful shades in it. Can't remember the name. I think maybe it was Zulu, but I'm not sure. Also, the packaging on all of these looks really pretty. Wow, I really like how this is turning out so far. It's a bit sunsetty. Ah, it's so itchy. Okay, don't itch, don't scratch. Whoops. Trying to make a mess here. Okay. Now I'm going to do the usual. I'm going to take a glitter glue before applying the metallic shades. I'm going to take Notoriously Morbid's Shadow Bind. Doesn't really matter what you take. You can also just spritz the brush with Fix Plus. I guess that will work as well. It's just, you know, I'm a creature of habit and I like to do this with my glitter glues because I'm used to using glitter glues. I am going to dip into both greens. I'm going to dip into both pinks, by the way. I'm going to apply this one towards like the center of the lid and this one towards the inner corner of the eye. Zuda and Ocean. Oh boy, I butchered those for shizzle. Sorry dudes. There's no fucking way in the world I'm pronouncing these right, but the best I can do. Okay, going in with the slightly darker pink. Wow, that's so pretty. Oh, that's reminding me a lot of that pink shade in the Soft Glam palette that I was lusting after. The Soft Glam palette shade is a little more subdued for sure. This is much more punchy. but they're kind of in the same lines. Oh, I like this. I'm going to spritz my finger with a little bit of Fix Plus, because I want to make this even more intensely metallic. I'm going to dip back and then just intensify. Nicey, just here in the center of the lid. Okay, I'm going to grab a brush now to apply the slightly lighter pink in my inner corners. Right here. I hope that we're going to be able to see the contrast. Oh yeah, this is showing up lighter, so that's really nice. Wow, these shades are really nice. Let's hope my eyes aren't going to start watering, which they've been doing for the past weeks. Especially this bitch right here in the inner corner, she always eats up my inner corner. The worst. Okay, gonna flip the brush and just do a little bit of this action so that I blend the two pinks together a bit better. I'm not going to take the pink shade too far into my lower inner corner because I actually want to pop the gold there. I want to try as many shades possible for this look. Before I do that, by the way, I'm going to dip a little bit into the dark purple again and just bring it back here, because I kind of overdid the pink shade there. At this point, eyeliner is pretty much a no-go for me because it just will go all over the place as soon as I go out, and I'm going out in a bit. So I'm just going to like tight line with a little pencil liner here. I'm going to take a little blue liner now and I'm going to apply that on my waterline, but like only in the outer part. Right here. I'm going to pop a little bit of gold. That's the problem when you get like a new, very colorful eyeshadow palette. If you're me, you want to put all the colors on, which always results in disasters, but I can never control myself. Okay, so now we're going to go into that gold shade here and apply that in the inner corner. Just very, very lightly, a touch, a smidge, right here. Just to try how that looks like. Oh, that's a pretty gold. Beautiful. Ooh. This is a super intense gold. And it doesn't look like a antique gold like in the pen. In the pen it looks more like one of those dark antique green golds, but when you apply it, it's actually much more yellowy gold. Then I'm going to grab another smudger brush and we're going to go into this kind of navy blue shade here, which is called Aya. Butchering names left and right today. And I'm going to apply that over the blue, right here. Then I'm going to grab the super fluffy brush we used in the very beginning and just fluff all around the lower lash line. For my foundation today, I'm going to use my Estee Lauder Double Wear, the original formula. I got really freaked out a couple of days ago that Estee Lauder is discontinuing the light version of this foundation, and I asked them on Instagram and apparently they're not discontinuing it, they're just having some issues with production. Oh, sorry about my hair, she's also a little crazy. So apparently light is not being discontinued, however it's not in stores anymore, not at least in the Netherlands. I can't find it online, I can't find it in the actual physical stores. So I don't know if it's just that here they've decided to not like import it anymore, which would be really upsetting, but if I can at least still like buy it on Feel Unique, which is where I would normally buy it anyway, because it's cheaper, I would totally continue buying this foundation. Worst comes to worst, I can continue using the original Double Wear because that one works for me as well, but I would really rather not. I'm going to take my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in Mood Light, and I'm going to just set my face with that. This is such a beautiful powder. When people rave about these ambient lighting powders, they're not kidding. These powders are really good. They're like ridiculously expensive, but I feel like it's going to last me a while, and it's just such a nice powder. Okay, I'm going to put on my mascara now, and I'm going to teach you my little trick of how I make my eyelashes to look so nice, even without, you know, applying false eyelashes. I have nothing against false eyelashes, I just suck at applying them, I suck at wearing them, so I just steer clear. But I do like the effect they give, you know, with like the long, fluffy lashes. Luckily, like normally, naturally, I have lashes that are not too bad, and if I do the right thing, I can kind of sort of make them look really nice and fluffy and rich. Curling my lashes first, then I'm going to go with my Estee Lauder Little Black Primer, and I'm going to apply that as, you know, a primer for my mascara. I'm going to basically concentrate that more towards the base of the lashes so that they hold a curl, and just define them really nicely with this. And I'm not going to wait because I feel like waiting with this mascara is always a mistake. I'm going to go in with my Kiko Extra Sculpt Volume and start applying that, but then more towards the tips of the lashes. So I'm starting to build volume and length without messing too much with the base of the lashes where I already have the little black primer situation. And then I feel like my lashes start to look really nice. Hopefully today of all days I'm not going to fuck it up. There's a really annoying fly around here now. Like seriously, leave! Okay, let's do a little bit of bronzing now, and I think to bronze today I'm going to use my Anastasia Beverly Hills bronzer in Rich Amber, which I've been using a lot lately. I feel like it's a really nice bronzer for the summer. I just need to be careful not to overdo it because it's really pigmented. I barely dipped my brush and you just saw how much pigment came out. Okay, we're going to put a little bit around here to make me look all bronzed up and stuff. Hopefully blend it in nicely, because I had a video once where it looked like I had blended it in real life, but in the video it looked like I had a patch of bronzer on my forehead. For blush today I'm going to go into my Too Faced Love Flush blush in the shade I Will Always Love You, which I will always love this blush, it's so pretty. And I'm so hot, oh my god. Okay, let's warm up those cheeks a little bit, like so. I love the formula of these blushes. If I've not raved enough about the Love Flush blushes from Too Faced, my favorite formula for blush, without a doubt. Now let's dig into the next interesting product, and that is my OFRA highlighter in the shade Blissful. As you can see, I picked up one of the minis because I would never pay 30 euros for this highlighter, because for one, the packaging of this is so fucking cheap. This is like low-end drugstore cheap. I did try the highlighter yesterday a little bit, and it seemed like it was a really beautiful formula. Is it something that's very special and not seen before? Okay, so my camera decided to stop recording at like the worst moment, at the most important step when I was applying my highlighter. So I don't know whether you heard everything I said, but basically what I said is that the OFRA highlighter reminds me in effect and the way it looks of both Makeup Geek highlighters and Anastasia highlighters. So, and I think those have better packaging. So now I'm going to generously spritz my face with Fix Plus from MAC. Oh, I don't know, you missed also the whole situation where I highlighted my collarbones with my highlighter from Becca, Champagne Pop. Just because I don't use Champagne Pop enough and I feel like it makes the most beautiful like highlighter for your body. So I did that. I'm going to go in with Jeffree Star's Pumpkin Pie because I feel like it will tie in very nicely with like the warm orangish tones, and also because the liquid lipsticks tend to stay a little bit better, especially around my lip lines now. Okay guys, so I am finished. This is the done, finished makeup look. Let me show you how the eyes look like close up, just so you get an idea of the eyeshadows. This is how the eye look turned out. Not gonna lie, I really enjoyed working with these eyeshadows. I think they're really good quality. The price is pretty reasonable as well, so if you were looking into trying these, they're beautiful. So, final thoughts. As far as the eyeshadow palette is concerned, so the JUVIA'S Magic palette, I did really like all of it that I tried so far. The metallics were really what you expect of a metallic, very intense, very pigmented and creamy. The mattes blended out beautifully. They were very easy to work with and you get quite a nice variety of the mattes. So I think you can do quite a lot with this palette. As far as the OFRA highlighter is concerned, I don't think that's something that I don't think it's something to write home about. I think if you've never tried a really intense highlighter, sure, look at it. It's beautiful and intense. But I feel like there are so many highlighters on the market right now, and you know, if a full size of this costs 30 euros and you can get a glow kit for 42 with 3 more shades in it and you get the same effect, I'd say take a glow kit from Anastasia, much better. Other than that, it's a beautiful highlighter. If you enjoy really metallic highlighters, I think you're going to like this. So, finished with the face, I'm going to go out in a bit, my friend's coming to pick me up. Thank you so much for hanging out. This is probably going to be a very long video, I apologize for that. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget the usual spiel, like, subscribe, stuff like that. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!